Scaling a new brand on Meta ads in 2026 is very hard. If you don't already have brand positioning, you're starting something brand new, and you want to apply attention arbitrage using this advertising platform to get eyeballs onto your brand and make enough of that attention actually convert to make the whole funnel profitable, that is extremely difficult. But I was just helping out a brand that I'm consulting for. They were spending around 200 to 300 per day. And we're now spending more than 1K per day on ads. And we're continuing now to scale this brand. And our goal is to get quickly up to 10K per day in spend. But first, if you're new to the channel, my name is Oli, and I've spent more than half a decade managing ads for businesses all over the world. And I've now managed over multiple 7 figures in ad spend. And this YouTube channel is just where I share the lessons and learnings that I have along the way with you for free. And sometimes that results in businesses booking in a consulting call with me because I give all this value for free. That's the reason I'm doing it. So if you're looking to work with someone to help you scale your brand, check out the link in the description. So let's get into it. So as you can see here, over the last 30 days, we have increased gross sales by 77%. As you can see, total sales over time here is really peaking the last few days. And that's also when we've started to launch some new ads and really started all of the scaling efforts. And as you can see, yeah, we're growing extremely fast, getting in a lot of new customers. And if you look at the Triple Whale dashboard, you can see the actual profitability of these results as well. So you can see here, we spent a little bit over 14K on ads in the last 30 days. That resulted in over 32K in sales. And as you can see, the profitability here is a little bit over 16K, and we're averaging a ROAS of 2.26. And this is continuing to improve. And what I want you to pay attention to here is if we look at the last 7 days here, and this is like when we really started to scale up the best performers, we've increased the ROAS here by almost 35%. We doubled the sales and we more than doubled the net profit. Now, in this case, we're not just scaling volume really fast. The profitability is also improving as we're scaling. And that is very, very difficult to do. And there's some key lessons here that I want to share with you that are allowing us to do this. And what I'm going to do is over the course of the next few months, I'm going to continue to share the lessons that I learn as I'm helping this business scale. So if you want to follow along, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications as well. So here are the 4 key lessons that we learned so far as we're scaling this brand to 10K per day in profitable ad spend. Now, the first thing I did when I started to work with this brand was zooming out and looking at everything, right? Because the first thing they wanted me to do is go into the ad account and look at how I can fix things in there. But usually the way I start is always I like to zoom out, look at the business from a very top level perspective and see where can I get the most leverage? Like where can I get the best return on my effort? Does it really make sense for me to go in and start optimizing the ad account right away? Or is it something I can do before that will give me better return on my effort? And this is essentially the best way to think in business as a whole, right? There's always going to be a million things you can improve, but there is limited time, there's limited resources. You need to be able to prioritize. So that's why I started by doing a bottleneck analysis. I looked at the whole business, the whole funnel, from the ads to the landing page, to the website, to the conversion rate, to the back end, like the upsells, the cross sells, the email flows, everything. So the first thing I started to look at when I did the bottleneck analysis was the actual offer, because they were priced at a certain level. And I asked them, like, why did you price your product at this level? And they didn't really have a clear reasoning behind it. I just had looked at some competitors and just assumed that they needed to be around this price. And then I just, picked a number. But then we started talking about like the potential of maybe raising the prices in an ethical way. Like, could we bundle together the main product with something else and put together an offer that would then ethically allow us to increase the price without that making any changes to the cost on our side for actually fulfilling on that offer, right? So the margin would be drastically improved. So that was the first thing we started looking at, like, could we increase the price? So we put together a few different bundles. We had like one main hero product, but then we bundled that together with other products. And on the landing page, you would have, in the beginning, we had 2 different offers, but we switched that into 3 different offers. Reason for that is we wanted to increase the perceived value of our core offer. So we had an offer that was underneath that. So the distance between the middle offer and the bottom offer wasn't too big. So if you're thinking about getting the cheapest, you might as well get the thing that's a little bit more expensive, but you get something more. But then we added a premium offer as well. Now, the reason for the premium offer is not for us to sell that, because that one was way more expensive. It was just to have something premium that would make our middle offer look more feasible, like less expensive. So essentially we created a 3rd offer that just served as a price anchor. And here's the beautiful thing. That expensive offer, it also includes the main product, but with some extra add-ons. So it's a different bundle. But the margin on that one is just drastically better, right? Because the add-ons doesn't cost a lot for the business. And we can ethically just put that together and give it like a much, much higher price. And even though we don't expect to sell it, sometimes people come in and they actually buy that premium one, because in a market, you will always have the people that buy the cheapest. You will have the people that buy the most popular, like in between things, but you will always have a certain percentage of the market that just wants the best regardless of price. So we actually started seeing some sales coming in on this offer as well, which drastically improved the overall average order value and allowed us to scale faster. So when you're looking to scale, always start by looking at where you can get the best return on your effort. And usually that will be on the offer, the actual perceived value of your product, of your offer. So look at your price, look at price anchors, look at bundles, discounts, like how you structure shipping, is that included or not, etc. Like always look at this first, because we tested a few different ones. We found one that worked really well, and that is now a big part of what allows us to scale. Now, it's not the only thing, but it is a big part of it. Now, the next thing that I want to look at before I actually go in and optimize the ads, like I haven't even gone in and done too much with the ad account yet. The next thing I want to do is I want to look at the funnel and the key metrics across the funnel that I can optimize. So the metrics that usually would give you the best return on effort, again, I always want to ask what can give me the best return on effort, is usually the average order value and the conversion rate. Like how effectively can you convert the traffic and what's the average value per conversion that you get? Just a small improvement in the average order value will drastically improve your ROAS. And it might be the difference that gets you from below break-even ROAS to above and beyond, where you can actually scale profitable. Now, of course, we should just focus on one metric. Usually there's a combination of metrics that can be improved. And the next one I want to look at is the conversion rate. And this was a big one. So we actually did a full conversion rate optimization audit for this business, because we did see that the conversion rate was pretty low considering the industry they're in. So for this audit, we're using a tool called Microsoft Clarity that you can use to look at heat maps, so how people are navigating on your site. Also, you can look at recordings of your sessions from people. You can kind of see how they're behaving when they're going from your ads onto your website. And then you can quickly kind of understand what could potentially be hurting your conversion rate, right? So the first thing that we saw was that a lot of people were looking for reviews. They had like this review icon, but once you clicked on it, it was only showing 3 reviews. So we added on way more reviews for them to display without adding on friction to get to those reviews. Then we also did a bunch of other things in terms of making it more seamless to get to the information people were looking for. We found that a lot of people were actually looking for how to use the product in a very specific way. So we put that video all the way on the top of the product page. And then we continue to do a bunch of optimizations like this based on the heat maps. So we did this quite extensively. So I'm not going to get into everything we found there, but we did find that we got a massive improvement to conversion rate. As you can see in the last 7 days, we have a 46 increase in conversion rate. And this is huge. If you want to scale, you need to be able to convert traffic quickly. And a lot of that comes down to being able to put all the information and understand all of the objections and concerns that your potential customers might have and take care of all of them. That is how you can build trust. That is how you get cold traffic to convert on a short time period. Now, in your case, maybe you've maxed out the average order value. That makes sense to kind of get. There's not too much more you can do to improve that. Maybe the conversion rate is really optimized. You'd run a lot of different tests and you kind of worked with a team that helped you optimize the conversion rate. So if you've done all of that, that might not be the best return on effort. You might also want to look at the LTV, the lifetime value of your customers. What are you doing on the back end to get your customers to come back if you have a reoccurring business model? Or it could be the click-through rate, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Because if your ads are not effective enough of getting an impression to an actual click, then that could also very highly likely be the bottleneck of your funnel. Now, the next thing we did was apply budget focus. So essentially what this means is they had multiple campaigns running at the same time. They were actually advertising multiple of their different products, but I just applied what I call here budget focus. So we went from multiple products to just the best product. And we went from multiple ad sets and campaigns to just one campaign and one ad set with all of the best ads for the best product within that campaign. So we really focused and consolidated, and that gave us more data per ad set, quicker learning and faster scaling. So I show you exactly here what that looks like. As you can see, before they were running, they were getting some sales from multiple different campaigns here. We turned off all of these campaigns and we just consolidated all of it into this one top of funnel CBO prospecting campaign. Within this campaign, the first thing we did was, as you can see here, we put all of the best ads into this one ad set. So we turned off all of these other ad sets that were running, and we just picked out the best ads and we consolidated all of them into this best ads ad set. Now, after that, starting getting some momentum, we continue creative testing. And this is one of the extremely important pieces that allows us to scale right now, because we're really finding some high performing creatives. So if you're looking at batch number 1 here, you can see that if we're looking at the last 7 days, the majority of the results are coming from batch 1. So we already, on the first batch, were able to get amazing results and find some really winning ads. You can see the CPA here is like drastically lower. And that is the beauty of creative testing. Obviously, we also combine that with all of these other optimizations that we did as well. So it's all just coming together, as you can see right now, and it's performing extremely well. So we're also putting up the ROAS number here. So also looking at the ROAS, as you can see, batch 1 has the absolute highest ROAS. The ads that we launched in here were just quite significantly much better than anything they've tested before. A big reason for that is creative research. So when we started working with them, they had all of these ideas of what they thought they needed to be testing, like all of these types of formats and ads. But I was like looking at their stuff, and I have a lot of perspective on other industries and other businesses as well. So for me, immediately, I could see that like they were only staying within this box. And that is very often the case when I'm working with brands that are smaller and founder led. Like the founder has this one perspective of what is possible. And there's so many unknown unknowns. Like the founder might not even consider other formats and types of marketing that you could do. So what I did is I just presented them a bunch of research from competitors, and sometimes not even direct competitors, but businesses that are essentially trying to target the same customer group. And I showed them what they were doing. And immediately we found some formats that made a lot of sense for us to test. We then looked at those and started to ideate on a couple of briefs for creators that we can use to kind of adapt that format and that angle onto our product. And essentially that's what allows us to immediately on batch number 1 really find, outperformers that got better results than this account has ever gotten. So that is the beauty of working with someone. And I know I'm biased because I actually deliver the service, but I think if you're just zooming out and think about it yourself, like creative process and coming up with great ideas that will stop people from scrolling and recognize your product, that creative process is very hard to do with just one perspective. Your creative ideas are not going to be as good if you sit in front of your computer and think of them yourself versus working with someone that has different experience and maybe more experience with different industries and different brands, and somebody that's working on creative processes on a day-to-day basis. And then you use, as the founder, you use your knowledge of your customer and your product, and you combine that with the perspective and the experience and the knowledge of someone who just specializes in creative strategy, essentially, right? That's how you come up with the best possible ad creative ideas. And that's exactly what we did here. We had a lot of communication regarding this back and forth between me, my experience, and the examples that I presented, and how we could adapt that to their business. And that is how we came up with these great ideas that became outperformers. And this is not the only scenario where this happened. This has happened multiple times. And also I know a lot of other people in the same space as me that also work with brands, and they all say the same thing. As the founder, you will have the most experience and the deepest understanding of your customer and your product. But if you combine that with the knowledge and experience of someone who just works on creative strategy, that is how you get the best ideas. That's how you really find outperformers like we do here. So I could highly recommend that if you're struggling coming up with ideas, go and work with someone, a creative strategist. I know they're extremely hard to find these days, but figure out a way that you can not sit by yourself and try to come up with ideas, but actually do brainstorming sessions with someone, because you will have way better ideas and they will come up way quicker. So that's exactly what we did here. As you can see, we launched 7 different ads, and video number 2 here become a drastic outperformer. It's getting an amazing outbound click-through rate, and it's just improving the funnel drastically. And this is what it looks like when to find a winner. And I talk to a lot of brands and they're like, how do I know if I have a winner? Like, it's extremely obvious. The problem why you're probably struggling with finding winners is because of your ideation process, and like the creative brainstorming that you're doing internally is just not the best. Ideally, when you do creative testing, you should be able to find winners that are really standing out, and there shouldn't be any doubt if that is a winner or not. As you can see here, it gets the majority of the spend. It's all proven data. The CPA is the best. The ROAS is the best. That's what a winner looks like. This is what it looks like to scale and find winners. So these are the 4 lessons so far. Start by fixing the thing that gives you the most leverage and best return on effort, the offer and the key metrics, the AOV, conversion rate, LTV, CTR. Then apply budget focus. If you haven't already, make sure you just focus your budget. If it's limited, don't spread across multiple different products and multiple different ads. Like, focus on what's performing the best. Later on, you can expand. But to be able to get to a point where you can expand and start to, advertise multiple products, first you need to get to at least, 5K, 10K per day in ad spend and really build that momentum where you have cash flow coming in and you have money to go and spend on expanding your product range and finding new winners. But before you do all of that, find something that works extremely well first, build that momentum, and then go and find a creative strategist or someone who is creative in the marketing space that you can combine your understanding of the customer and the product together with that person's understanding of creative testing and what's working in your industry right now. And that's the way you're going to come up with really, really good creative ideas, find outperformers, and be able to scale fast. So far we've gotten this account now from about 200 to 300 per day to more than 1K per day in ad spend. And now we're looking to take them to more than 10K per day in profitable ad spend. So if you want to follow along and see how this develops, make sure you subscribe. And if you're looking to work with someone right now, you can apply below to work directly with me and my team on creative strategy and media buying. So if you're looking to have someone help you scale your brand, the link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you found this valuable, and I'll see you in the next video.